Oh, yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, what's good?
Oh, what's really good?
Oh, you know me, man. I just chilling.
Oh, yeah? Where you chilling?
Oh, chilling from first to sixth.
Yeah. Our podcast is called Chillin from First to Sixth because I grew up on First Avenue.
I grew up on sixth, and throughout these 23 years of friendship now, man, can you believe that?
Crazy.
Me and Jake have been going through we've been gone and probably gonna get into more crazier things.
This podcast will highlight some of those crazy stories while also talking about current events and hopefully motivating you along the way.
Ooh.
So let's jump right into it. What's good?
Oh man, just feeling good. Real late right now on September 5th, the first day of the NFL season of 2019.
Yeah, and I see you supporting your Go Pack Go.
Go Pack Go. It was a very entertaining game.
Yeah, I was so glad I was working and didn't waste my time watching that boring ass game.
10-3, baby, over the Bears. But shoot, football's back, man. Now I got an excuse to spend a lot of money on Sundays and Monday nights.
Well, hopefully you can spend a lot of money on a haircut eventually. That would be helping this podcast out a lot. Our viewers,
Yeah.
Our views are going down
Oh yeah.
by the second. Yeah.
I'll donate to your barber right here. Boy. Oh damn, boy.
Oh man.
So what we got on the agenda today, man?
So the agenda at the beginning, a couple episodes or a couple weeks ago, because old late ass over here has been
Hello.
we were talking about how we got to middle school and our introduction to middle school. Now we're gonna specify a couple people that we met within that time. So now we're back in middle school and we're meeting our two best, closest friends. And I'm just gonna let you get right into it. Go ahead, Rick.
Ooh.
So who did we meet? What were their names? Where were they from?
Shoot. Well, our best friends were Magdi and
And Scott Brady.
shoot, man, we met our boys, our brothers, Travis and Ramy, man.
And then what elementary schools did they go to?
They went to a neighboring school also in San Bruno called Patola Elementary.
Was it Patola or was it Portola?
Patola? Patola? It doesn't matter. It's second place. I always forget about that all the time.
I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I don't. If you don't go to playoffs, then it doesn't really matter. To highlight that portion of it. So they were rivals before they were friends, right?
Oh, yeah, man.
I mean, don't you have to beat us to be a rival? I mean, they were just another team that we beat.
I guess, yeah, you got to make it competitive at least. Like, give it back and forth. I mean, like I said, NFL season started today. The Bears, Packers, classic. Linebacker Urlacher over there back in the day. Brett Favre over here on the Packer side. Win some, you lose some. But it's kind of hard to be a rival if we're always winning.
If you're always winning.
I don't know.
That's called slaughter.
Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse. Well, but okay, so back to middle school. We meet them. Which one did you meet first? And what was your first impression of them?
I believe I met Ramy first.
And where was it at?
Possibly in one of my classes. Cause I don't remember any weak people on the basketball course like him. So
It wasn't playing basketball at first.
definitely not playing basketball. I just thought I seen him, and I was lost in middle school. I was like, "Hey, teacher, you have a beard? Like you're like 13 years old. You have a full scruff of beard. Do you know where the bathrooms are at?" He had a hairy beard, hairline receding at 13 already. He goes, "I'm a student too." No, man, but yeah, I actually do not remember the first meeting of either or, but I'm pretty sure I had to be sports related, and I know it had to come through you because I think you met Travis first.
I did meet Travis first, but I'll get into that a little bit later. Focus is on you right now.
Ooh, okay, spotlight. Yeah, I don't remember meeting them, but I just remember sports again. Very competitive, and I know they brought up a lot of times that they remembered us from elementary school, which is funny because I don't remember them.
Don't really remember the peasants too much. I just remember winning.
Yeah.
I remember winning more than I remember anybody else that I wasn't playing with.
It's kind of tough to see down there when you're up top all the time, you know?
Yeah. When you're up in the palace and you're looking down the dirt, you don't really recognize too many faces.
Man.
But we went over where you knew them from prior. What common interests did you have right away with either or both?
With both, it's always that underlying theme of sports and being competitive. And that was mostly for both of them outside the classroom. Now, specifically for Ramy, I had him in a lot of classes, middle school, and also in the future in high school, but that's for another story, another episode. And I seen his determination in the classroom. I don't even know. It was just that he had that something in him. Me, I just had that fear of not getting good grades and not being able to play basketball and playing sports. He was just naturally smart, determined in the classroom, determined in sports, and shoot, just a leader, man. So yeah, that's what I remember of his characteristics. Now, again, they both had that competitive edge to them. Travis, on the other hand, was a wild beast when it came to sports and video games. I tell you that much. If he spent like half the knowledge he did in that Madden and whatever else he played on the video games, shoot, he'd be like
the next Bill Gates.
Bill Yates. Shoot, he'd be what was the guy from Facebook? Zuckerberg. Travis Berg. But yeah, I could definitely see the characteristics of them being hungry.
I know Travis was half Jewish.
Yeah, he is. With no money. Honey.
So, this thing's not half Jewish then. What's your first funny story with them in it? Like, which one comes to mind first?
Ooh.
In middle school.
In middle school, straight off the bat. See, I feel like we were more of a tandem. We were just like, oh, they're from Bel Air, Ricky and Jake and Ricky. For them, it was more like I met Ramy and I met Travis. Like, they were just like
separates.
Yeah, they came from the same elementary school, but they're on different like.
But they friends? Like, they were best friends when we met?
Yeah, I mean, they were best friends, but they were like not.
No, they weren't. Well, they weren't us.
Yeah, like weird, like not as close, or they didn't share a lot of memories, or shoot, I was at your house like every day from like elementary school.
And that's kind of real, because they kind of distance-wise live the same distance that me and you live, like, again, from each other.
Yeah, but I honestly just when you told me that, what your first funny story about them, I don't know who it was, but I just remember that playing sports again, hanging out in the big old lot there at Parkside, and I just remember this tall dude. He looked like a gangster wearing a red shirt, red jeans, red Allen Iversons, the questions, and poofy afro with the thickest bulletproof glasses I've ever seen in my life.
Good old Coke bottles.
And then I was like, dang, this guy he looked like somebody. Got the thick glasses, nice fair skin. And then, I don't know who it was, and I just kept staring at this fool. Like, this guy, an actor, singer, who is this fool? And all of a sudden I hear from behind me, you try to walk away and I stumble, even though it happened, it's clear. Started singing Macy Gray. I was like, that's who that guy is. That guy is Macy Gray's son or something.
He looked like if Lenny Kravitz and Macy Gray had a kid, it would be Travis.
It's definitely not Jewish kid though.
Kravitz, that's close enough.
Travis.
Travis Kravitz. But you didn't really emphasize. It's three of the biggest Tongan girls I've ever seen in my life singing that song.
See, I didn't know who it was, but I just
nobody wanted to talk shit.
Cracking up.
Because they want to get beat up by these three behemoths. But that's a good story.
Oh, that's the only story I remember from them. Other than that, that's the very first story that I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good little sum up. Well, that kind of hits that whole category of those guys.
Yeah. And I did want to add determination, man. Our boy Ramy was actually class president, right, in middle school?
He was a class president.
Yeah. So, big ups to the hunger, the determination.
I mean, it didn't stop there for him, but we'll get into later episodes with all that.
Yes, sir. So, how about yourself, though, man? I don't like having the spotlight so abruptly on me. I like to bounce back, man.
Well, if you want to bounce back, then ask a fucking question.
Oh, I like that. First question then, boy. What was your first impression? Again, we came out of Bel Air. We've seen them. We don't really know them. You meet up with them in Parkside. What was your first impression of our boys, our brothers?
From middle school, I will say this. Size-wise, and them looking like 20-year-old men.
Dude, they looked... Yeah, I told you, they look like professors there. They look like teachers.
I don't know if I've ever admitted this out loud. Before playing them, I thought they beat us.
What, you thought they did beat us? Or
No, I thought they would beat us.
Oh.
Because seeing them, because it was Travis, Ramy, and then they had another Filipino kid that
was grabbing rim, I think. Or like
he was touching the backboard.
Oh, the backboard, that's what it was. I remember.
None of us were doing that. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, this could be a rough one.
Yeah.
But, like you just said, you could give somebody talent, but you can't give them balls.
God damn.
And if you don't have balls, you probably ain't gonna win. They look like grown men on the outside, but beneath those shorts, we were grown men on the other outside.
You small, Fruit of the Looms, huh? Oh, Fruit of the Looms.
Oh, Fruit of the Loom boys. Well, we had the box of briefs, holding the balls.
Hands low. You feel me?
Yeah, feel me? And so the reason how we all got connected, like you just said, was initially between me and Travis. We both had woodshop together, and I just remember seeing this weeping willow, fucking afro, thinking in my
not the willow tree. Yeah.
Thinking in my head, I'm like, I hope during this woodshop class we don't have to use any type of flames, because if we do, this guy sitting next to me, we're going up. I'm getting fucking caught on fire in the aftermath of his hair going fucking on fire. So me and him meet. We're in the same table and we're talking, all that type of stuff. And I didn't know this story until later down the line. He runs to his best friend, Ramy, and goes, hey.
Oh, yeah.
You have to run up and listen to this guy talk, because he has the weirdest accent I've ever heard in my life. I didn't know this for years until they told me that the reason why we all met and talked is because Travis thought I talked weird. And then from there, I meet Ramy, and then I introduce him to you, and from there, sports, and kind of carry us through. We're playing basketball, and then our other friends all come together, Scott and Lex, and Scott and Lex. So, and then that's kind of how it all formulates. And then we have a natural rivalry where we can't let our elementary schools go. So for years, we would play 2-on-2 basketball games where it was me and Rick versus Travis and Ramy. And they got pretty good. Like, they got better since elementary school. Because we would go back and forth. And we ended up edging out. Because I think at the end of it, we swept them like 5 games in a row. And then they just called it quits.
Yeah, I think it was close, but they never won.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to get better when you're just so skill-wise. So you start here. There's nowhere else to go but up.
But their age started getting to them because nobody ever checked their birth certificates. In middle school, they were like 20-something years old.
I'm pretty sure.
So by the time we got to high school, they were late 20s, 30s. And the arthritis starts kicking in, and their eyesight's not as sharp. And
joint pain.
And they got to go pick up the kids. So,
oh, dang.
So their priorities are all over the place. While ours are just stuck on sports.
Yeah.
But, that was the first meeting of them. My impressions, would be, I thought they were cool. I thought they reminded me of the weaker version of us.
I like the backhanded compliment there you got there, buddy.
Have you ever watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures, where they have the real Bill and Ted, and then they have the robots, and the robots kinda act like them, and kinda got the mannerisms, but you can see a slight difference. So I always felt like that was them, and I was just like, yeah, they had a cool friendship, but it's not gonna last like our friendship.
Yeah, cool. Like you said, a good friendship. So we have good family ship.
Damn!
You know what I'm saying?
It's hard to create family ship. You're just born into it.
Yeah.
But what other questions did you have?
Oh shoot! I am so sorry about that, man. Shoot. Huh? Did you even have? Oh, you have which one with him? Do you have any classes with Ramy?
Oh, fuck you. You fucking piece of shit.
Not ESL classes, please. So.
Well, since I was in ESL in elementary school, I doubt that I'm in AP anything in middle school.
Well, shoot, I wasn't AP either, but I think Ramy had those special.
But at the same time, I wasn't lucky enough to have Ramy as a teacher in any of the classes.
Hey, pretty much.
Because
genius.
I was always like, man, I want Mr. Salah's class, but I couldn't get in. Didn't have my mental capacity wasn't there yet. But yeah, no, I had a lot of classes with Travis, which is really hard to say out loud. Because that just means that I had really bad classes.
Gotta ask, who cheated off of who? Like, did you bring in the homework and he copied yours?
Hell no. Cheated.
Or who copied off whose homework? Did Travis even do any of the homework?
I would say in any class I was with, that Travis was with me in, I for sure studied.
You for sure studied?
I for sure had to study because I just knew that like if I don't study, it's done. It's done because I cannot ask him a single question about anything. I would, if it was a math class, he'd give me a history answer. If I was in a history class, he would give me an English pun, and I'm like, what the fuck? Sidebar. We're in computer class together.
Okay, yeah.
These are, to us, I mean, computers are newer, and it's a computer class, teach you how to type and everything like that. It's the Bubble Max, where they've got the color, but it's like a
color shell.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
These computers are programmed to where you cannot go off site, and you can only type. There's the oldest bitch in that fucking class. I hated that lady. And she goes around and goes, oh my word, what is this? Travis' computer froze.
Why did it freeze?
On the biggest black ass I've ever seen in my life, because he went to like 40-ounce bounce. And if you don't know what that is, remember it was 40-ounce bounce.
Just want to cut you off there. This podcast here brought you by 40 bounce. If it makes you cry, it's that onion booty, baby.
So he gets it freezes on a porn website, and all he can do is look at the teacher and keep shrugging and shaking his head like somebody did this to him.
And I'm pretty sure he did blame it on somebody.
Tried to.
The guy who talks weird over there, huh?
So that would, I mean, that beats you to the punch. So that is hands down.
Yeah,
in middle school, the funniest story I have. And it's funny how all the funny stories have to be about Travis.
Yeah, man. You, yeah. Good little link up there, man.
Yeah, and then it springboards into like long friendships, and with all jokes aside, they are all great guys and they were great friends, and we all became really close really fast because when you think about middle school, it's only 2 years, and then you're into high school, and we already had like a 20-year friendship with them or a 10-year friendship with them within those 2 years, because we hung out a lot and we all had sports, and those were good times in middle school, meeting them and then going forward.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that said, we'll go ahead. What you got?
I was just gonna say that was a good little entry to our new friendships. Next episode, you'll hear more and more crazy stories about the four of us now. But yeah, with that being said, we're gonna move forward to our more business slash career.
These ones we always try to put out. Like I said, it's good to talk about our stories as kids and how we met and going forward from there. And then we like to go into our career side. And we have two very different careers, but we like to bring together that everything's very relative. So no matter what career you have, the stories and the stuff that we bring up should be relative enough that you could either understand or you could get a little bit of, oh yeah, I've done that before, that makes sense. So we're gonna dive into that point. And with that being said, well, I'll go into it.
Yeah, go ahead.
The subject today is breaking points, and let's kind of elaborate what breaking points are and then get into specifics. Rick, what do you define as like a breaking point in the career realm?
When I think about breaking point, I think about that last how was that term? The straw
that broke the camel's
the
back.
straw that broke the camel's back. That one incident where you're like, whoop, done, on to the next. You're not even focused about work. The only thing you're focused on is progressing or just getting out of there. And I hope that by the breaking point, it helps you elevate and move somewhere higher than you are currently, and not just get out of there and kind of jeopardize where you're at right now, if that makes sense. Kind of, you don't want to just be done with the job and get out and lower yourself. Like, you don't want to go from being a manager, oh, I'm done with this, I'm gonna go flip burgers at McDonald's, there's nothing wrong with that, but you want to either move parallel or move up.
Because you've done that before.
Yeah, pretty much. And I can tell you my example.
Well, no, let's go like this. So, before we do the career example, we've dabbled on our like baby careers or our baby jobs and stuff like that. So, what would be the breaking point leaving or the breaking point after McDonald's and Hometown Buffet?
Ooh, the breaking point?
Yeah.
That one's pretty tough. I don't think there was really a breaking point there, just because it was a summer job for both of them.
And school was starting.
Yeah, school was beginning, so...
But you can use that as a breaking point, where it's like you broke off from that job to go to something better.
Yeah, that was the idea, but sometimes it didn't work. I wouldn't mind working at McDonald's. I was eating for free there, man, feeding my whole family. But yeah, that's a funny story, because I worked at McDonald's. My mom forced me to work at McDonald's just so that she could see that this is just the beginning, and you do not want to. If you don't go to school, you're gonna end up here for the next 15, 20 years. It was a lesson that kind of backfired. Now I eat McDonald's like once every other day, and I still enjoy it.
And you could have been making your own shoes and running the shit at Nike right now.
Nike, but you know what? Nike don't feed me. You know what I'm saying? McDonald's is letting me bring home to-go bags full of fries. Shoot, the next day I'd bring last night's hamburger and warm it up in their oven so I could just eat it again. But so yeah, that was meant to be a breaking point for me. My mom wanted me to progress, which I did, because I was forced to go to school.
So then, breaking point. College is over. Bank job.
Whew.
Breaking point from working at the bank.
Ooh, honestly, I almost forgot that I work at the bank. The breaking point. I had like, in a matter of couple days, I had like 2 breaking points. One where I gave the boss the benefit of the doubt, and the other one where I was like, done, data, that's it.
Which one was that one?
The done, data one. Well, actually, I'm gonna start back. The one that kind of like already had my sights towards the end already was when they had to make me do. They tried to make me do cold calls. For those that don't know what cold calls are, is you literally have like a phone book out, see any potential or current customers of the bank, and we call them and try to bring them into the actual branch so we can review and sell them accounts. So that's how retail banks work. You want to make sure the customer comes in and has a one-stop shop. They have their savings, they have their checking, savings, any retirement plans, debit card, and credit card with you guys, and any accounts, any products. And yeah, so me, I like to put myself in other people's shoes, and I hate it when people used to cold call my house like at any hour. And at this time, they were making me call after hours. So after the bank closed at 6 o'clock, she wanted me to pick up a phone book and call. And yeah, to me, it was one of those like, I clocked out already. They're not paying me for this extra hour. They just wanted me to hit my quota.
Mm.
And I literally stood there and I was like, that's when I just told her, I was like, honestly, I hate to bug people after hours. They're probably eating dinner right now. I know for sure if someone were to call me from Wells Fargo, even though I bank with you guys, to tell me they want to review my accounts for no reason, I'd be upset. And I told her straight up, and I was like, it doesn't look like I'm going to be cold calling anyone today or any day. If you want to, I could do cold calls during the day when I'm clocked in, but I'm not doing any cold calls right now.
Mm.
And it was one of those moments where, because like, again, people have clocked out, banks closed, it's only a few people there, and yeah, I think she felt like the air get kind of heavy, and she just looked at me like, so you're not going to make any calls? And I was like, no, I'm not making any calls. Are you going to make any calls? Like, I'm not gonna sure. I'm not gonna lie. I made the air kind of heavy there, and I just told her like, "So am I free to go? I already clocked out." She goes, "Yeah, see you tomorrow." And then that was when I knew I was like, yeah, it's not gonna work out here. So that was like the second to last straw that broke the camel's ass. The last one was when I was actually working, and again, like I said, retail bank. You want to have the one-stop shop, checking, savings, credit card, ATM, everything. And a lady came in, only spoke Spanish, had like 3 kids with her, and wanted to review her accounts because she was saying that she had fees. Or, sorry, her debit card was not working. They kept on declining. So I was like, sure, no problem. I sat her down, gave her a drink of water, and I just reviewed the accounts. And I seen that she had a negative balance in her checking account.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the reason why her debit card was not working. So then the lady asked me about credit, that she wanted to apply for a credit card. And I briefly told her, hey, a credit card is basically borrowed money. Like, you are getting money that's not yours, using it to pay something that you want now, but you have to pay it back. And if you don't pay it back within 30 days usually, interest hits. So you're going to be paying more for the product that you want now in the near future. And with a negative balance in your checking account, you're not going to get approved. If you do get approved, you're not going to get approved for a high limit. So then I inquired with my supervisor, the same person that told me to do the cold calls, and she right away said, oh, so she's interested in one of our products. Yes, go ahead, Ricky, you're going to get your quota today. Go ahead and apply for a credit card. And based on my knowledge and the quick knowledge that I just gave you guys too, it's not going to be very beneficial for a person who does not have any money to use borrowed money. You're going to end up paying later. You're going to end up paying more for the item and also ruining your credit, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of a credit card, in my opinion, is to build your credit. You definitely don't want to damage it. And sure, the lady was happy. She signed. My boss sold her, made me translate. And at the end of the day, I told her straight the truth, what I just told you guys now. You have no money. It's borrowed money. You don't have money to even have a free checking account. How do you expect to have money to pay back cards? And because her main goal was to build her credit. And she just heard from the community that, yeah, if you use a credit card, you pay it off, you get points. And I told her, you have to have money to pay it off in order to get the points. So at the end of the day, my supervisor walked away thinking that I was going to get the sale or get the quota. sell the credit card, and I did not. And then I just told my boss came back to me later, and she goes, "So how did that credit card application go?" And I just told her that she decided not to. And then at that day, she called me to her office, and she goes, "Well, I just had the sale in your hand, and you fumbled it. Like, what do you want to do?" And I was like, "Honestly, what do you want to do? You want me to quit, or you want to fire me?" And it was just straight to the point. I had enough.
God damn, I thought you were about to fight her. Honestly, what do you want to do? Good lord.
Yeah, it got to that, and then I'm not gonna lie, I tried to act like the cool guy, the badass in the room. I was like, "You gonna fire me? Go ahead. You want me to quit? I can do that too. I'll put in my 2 weeks today."
Shit, that's cool. You're fired.
Yeah, she pretty much said that. She goes, "If I fire you, it's gonna be a bad record for your next job. So it's better for you to put in your 2 weeks and quit. That way you have a reason to tell them why you quit." And I was like, "You know what? 2 weeks then. Thank you for not firing me." Because, but yeah, and that was actually the straw that broke the camel's back. That's when I said, "Nope, it's time to go." And sure enough, 2 weeks later, I think it was less than 2 weeks, I ended up getting the job at a warehouse in Genentech.
So then let's fast forward that and then go career. So when we go into the career side of things, let's go breaking point when it comes to not, like, just being tired of where you're at and that breaking point that got you to the next level. Because breaking points don't always have to be leave one to go to the other. A breaking point could also be, here's where I'm at and here's where I want to be. And what is the breaking point that just says, that has you just say, fuck it, and I'm going here. I'm not going to stay here anymore.
To me, it's just complacency. I hate being in one place for too long. And that's number one for me. Number two, it's seeing people that I think are not as skilled, or they do not fit the mold of a position that's higher than mine. That makes me think, if they could do it, why am I not doing it?
Yeah.
So those are two that really do motivate me. Just for myself personally, just being static, just being at the same place for too many long, doing the same thing over and over, it just gets boring to me. I feel like I'm not learning, I'm not progressing, intellectually and also just career-wise as well. So that pushes me. And like I said, if I see people that, and I know a lot of people that just literally just get this position and just show up and clock in and clock out. They don't even care if they're doing a good job. That makes me think like, oh man, if they have no passion for it, and I actually think that position is pretty cool, I want to do that in the future. That makes me push even harder. Like, what I got to do to get, what do I have to do to get there, or what did that person do to get where she's at? So that also pushes me as well.
Do you have a specific story or example from when you started your career job and that entry level or that first step, and that's gotten you to the next step and the next step and the next step and the next step? So like, what's a good example of, here's where everybody is and we're all staying in the same spot. What elevated you to get the next step up?
Alley-oop, I see. John Stockton, Jake Stockton up in the house.
I mean,
but yeah, I want to use the first intro job when I actually got into the county. When I first got into the county, I worked as, first of all, they have different classifications for your job. Mm-hmm. They have extra help. So I'm sorry, extra help, term, and permanent. Extra help is a position where you're actually, they call it at will. So you're at will to get fired anytime.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what it means. But most likely they don't go, oh, you know what? You didn't iron your pants today. You're fired. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not gonna do that.
Not nitpicky.
Exactly. Because they also need.
They need the manpower.
Exactly. They need the workers. So they'll keep you on. Usually it's a 6-month term at a time, and they just rehire you after 6 months. Mm-hmm. First of all, they train you for 6 months, and then just not rehire you, but they just renegotiate. Yeah, you can stay. Yeah, you can stay. With this extra help position, you don't have any benefits, any great health benefits, Any retire, well, you do have retirement, but it doesn't accrue at a.
Until it become permanent, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like you could, it's very complicated. You have to buy back your hours, so you're accruing these retirement, as they say. Um, but then when you become permanent, you have to kind of pay back. They call it pay back your hours that you put into your retirement account, um, and they do it on an hourly basis. So it's uh, that's another thing. That's another headache. Um, so that's your extra help position. Your term position is that you actually have a contract saying 18 months, or I think the maximum is 3 years that you could be in this position, and you're gonna get let go. Um,
After those 3 years.
yeah, after those 3 years.
You just didn't pan out. They're giving you a trial run, and you're not showing them what they need to see, and you're gone.
No, actually, just 3 years. Like you could pan out and just be like, we don't have the budget in our department. I've heard of people that were in this term position and get comfortable, and they open up a permanent position, and they're like, that permanent position is mine anyway. I'll just apply. Lackluster application. Boom, somebody else from out of the county or a lower position than them gets the permanent position, and it's like
too comfortable.
Yeah, too comfortable, complacent again. And then you got your permanent position, where you're set. You're basically set. You pass your 6 months probation. You get your retirement. You get nice health, dental.
You're in there.
Yeah, you're in there. You're nice. So yeah, and it's just set. Again, you're doing the same position, just a different classification. So when I first entered, again, extra help, and I was doing basically checking for screening for welfare benefits for people who needed welfare. So and we studied for actually programs, specific programs. I was taught Medi-Cal and food stamps in the beginning. And yeah, so was in there. I think it was about 6 months training of literally classroom training, just study. They teach us 4 days studying. The 5th day you have a test. Make sure you pass that test. If you don't, you get booted out the program after 2 consecutive failed tests. And then, so yeah, I actually did like the job. I got to meet people, other colleagues, got to talk to people. But at the end of the day, I was like, I feel like the county is winning more, and I'm not getting. I'm getting the shorter end of the stick here.
Yeah.
Went to school, went to college, went to Davis, studied economics.
Did that for a reason.
Exactly. Wanted to apply my knowledge there to a specific field. So yeah, I just had the opportunity. I seen that. I wiggled in my shoulder into the little crack of the crevice of something, and I said, fuck that, I'm getting all the way in there.
Yeah, you say you got into that crack of that ass, and you said, hey.
I'm going, not just the tip, baby. Of the nose.
What did you say? I was like, yeah, tip of the nose. Or the tip of that tongue, too, said.
So, yeah, it goes back to complacency. I looked, and I really thought, extra help, huh? And
That name doesn't even sound right.
Yeah, like, you're not the help. You're just
extra help.
And I talked to people in the office. Oh, so yeah, I'm the new extra help person here. How about yourself? You're like, I'm extra help too. Been doing it for 5 years.
Speak about slipping through a crack of ass.
Yeah, that boy slipping. I seen that, and I literally saw that 5 years from that day. I was like, no way I'm staying here.
Yeah.
Every permanent position I seen, apply. I had that job about, let's say, I had that job, for about 5 months. I didn't even finish the training. And at least, I'm going to say I put in 20 to 25 applications, I'm going to say a week. And that was just in the county and outside the county.
Yeah.
Because I had just seen that future. I was like, no, I need my bennies. I need my benefits. So yeah, talking about breaking point. That guy talking to me was my breaking point.
Hey, that long ass story got that little last guy in there, and that was a little gem right there. That little breaking for right there. I like it. Okay, so with that being said, what is the one trait you have that pushes you to keep evolving or elevating or growing, etc., etc., etc.? So, what is the one trait that most people, the reason why they don't hit that breaking point is because they don't have that itch that pushes them forward. So, what is that one trait that you would say you have?
Oh man, one
Or
trait.
fear? It could be like trait or fear.
Uh, what's that mean? I ain't never scared. You feel me? uh, I would have to say it's just determination to be better. Like I said, I was literally sitting in a classroom full of people that, no offense, hardworking people, but didn't graduate college. Some of them didn't even graduate high school, probably. Um, um, English was their second language, and just being in a classroom full of these individuals. Again, somehow our paths met, and we ended up in this one classroom, this one training classroom for an extra help position. I was like, I think I could do a little bit better than being here.
Well, excuse me, Cersei Lannister. Bunch of retards, a bunch of cripples, a bunch of illegals. Good Lord! Well, way to separate yourself, you piece of shit.
Hey, but if you gotta separate yourself, you're not gonna separate yourself, then you're gonna be one of them. Man.
Hey, I like how you put that there, baby. Proceed.
Well, yeah, just being determined, like I said, like
House Lannister.
House Lannister, house. Man, they shouldn't have killed her off.
She lived through you, so it's all good because she didn't want to be around the peasants and retards, so let it rip.
Blame. Like I said, just determination to be better. And then with that determination, just not quitting. Like, hey, I applied for one position 3 different times, and they recognized me after the first time.
Mm-hmm.
The second time, they're like, oh, it's you again. The third time I went for the interview, they're like, hey, it's been a while, huh? Anything changed in your resume, or should we just keep the old one? Like, they literally recognized who I was, and I was like, I recommend there's a new updated one, because I always evolve, baby. So yeah, and it seems kind of cheesy, just determination, but hey, you get rejected 2 times from one position, the same position, and get interviewed by the panel twice, the same people, and you tell me what determination is then.
Hey, I like it. Determination is the key. Why do most people not elevate when they reach that breaking point?
Ooh. I don't know. It's something I've never had to deal with, baby.
Damn, but you observed it though. Like as you have skyrocketed up, obviously there were people that you were even with that you're leaving. You ain't even. You're leaving. So if that is the case, what made them stay and you elevate?
I think that they I'm gonna say like just have low self-esteem, and when I mean that, I mean kind of like they think that this, like going back to the extra help position, they think this extra help position is the end all be all. Yeah, I made it. Like and they just get too happy. Like they think that this position, even the interviewers and everybody else, colleagues, they do sell it as this is a very useful place for you. This is useful for the community. You're gonna do great things here. They do empower you. They give you words of empowerment. But to me, I kind of see through all that fog. It's kind of like, oh yeah. How long you been extra help for? Okay then, yeah. I'm not here for the extra helpness. I mean, I'm here to get mines type of thing.
Yeah.
And I think they just get satisfied with these glorious positions, and they're scared to get theirs type of thing. Like, I feel that they think they deserve, this is the most that they deserve, or they're scared to get what they deserve. So yeah, that's a trait. Yeah, again, there's a lot of smart people out there, hard workers. They just, yeah, they're just hard workers. They just mean smarter workers. Like a lot of bosses, a lot of managers see a hard worker and they're like, I could use him on my team because he's gonna carry the team. You just gotta be smarter and try to progress. Like
Exactly.
use leverage, or use anything. Just drive.
Use leverage. Don't be leverage.
I like that one. So is this the quote section or what? That was a
Quotes.
sexy quote right there. Damn.
So this isn't on here, but it really just hit me. For people watching that might be in that breaking point but don't know how to get out of it, I want your politically correct motivational, and then I want your non-politically correct motivational. So politically correct motivational, short, sweet, what would you say to them?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah. Politically correct.
To those people, strive to be a better you. Strive to be a better you, and then you'll get a better position.
Non-politically correct.
Fucking apply yourself, man. Like, dude, you have the resources, you have the time. There's no excuse for you to be in a position, especially a position that you hate or a position that you think, a position that you think you have outgrown. You've already outgrown that position. Like, damn it, do it, man. Just do it. That's it.
Yeah, fuck, bitch.
Yes.
Exclamation at the end. Okay. All right.
I feel like I went too deep on that one. I did a little philosophicalness on that one.
No, that's why it's called a non-politically fucking correct, so you can just really jam it home.
Yeah, just do it.
Nice.
This podcast brought to you by Nike.
Chillin refers to 6, sponsored by Just Do It. Do it.
Yeah, so that was my breaking point. That was a long-winded breaking point. How about yourself? What was your breaking point? What was your job after the Chili's? We already saw the breaking point there, Mr. Super Bowl watcher.
I mean, because that breaking point was the same as yours, where it was just like, this isn't a real fucking job that I'm going to do. This is just trying to make a little bit of money, maybe get some numbers, for sure get some ribs. And then get the fuck out of there and start college and start life. So, yeah, that was the easy breaking point. Breaking point 2, I did talk about a little bit, but I'll kind of jam it back, is at the first gym that I was working at and training at.
That we're not going to name?
Yeah, because they don't need any plug except a fucking butt plug. Fucking fag. God knows.
What?
I had to pause on that one. I said, oh, shit. Couldn't hit with the hard one. But they bring out the beast in me.
Oh, man. Extra large butt plug actually get off Craigslist, slightly used.
But I would say the breaking point with that one is when I viewed the owner's life and it was not a life that I saw myself wanting to live. And I knew with the ego that he had, he would never want me to surpass him. So I saw that and I was like, oh, that's a breaking point. I can't be here.
What kind of life was he living? Or did you observe that he was living?
Let's say he was just at the same age as my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say at the stages that they're at, my dad was doing better than he was, in the sense of this guy lived in an apartment and he had little kids with him, and he was just all over the place. He didn't have any stability. And I just view, like I said, we didn't grow up in a mansion by any means, but my dad, the one thing they did have was stability. He owned his own house. He owned his business. He owned his car. So I respected that. Where the owner didn't, and I knew the ego that he had, he would never want me to be more successful than him. And that was a huge breaking point where I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I need to be around people that are at a higher level, so it gives me something to chase after. And not so much material-wise. I don't think material is really shit. I think that's just more headaches as it is. But it's also, it's people that have more drive and more hustle that are bouncing around different ideas and want to try this and do this. That's where I wanted to be. So that was a huge breaking point in that job.
Ooh. That was a nice one. I'm gonna edit that part out. But what's the next question on yours?
Well, another breaking point from the next career wasn't so much a breaking point. It was almost like a stagnant area that I was in, where it's like, okay, I've already done everything at this job. I've traveled for work. I've developed a program, and I just wasn't being pushed or driven towards anything anymore. And that's what helped me create my own business. That's what helped me think of different avenues to make money. But then it also gave me the opportunity to start the new venture, which is dozen boxing, and we'll get into that later. But it was a stagnant pool, and there was an opportunity that developed out of that stagnant pool, and it was no choice. I was like, why stay here? Time to go into the next challenge that I could say I started my own, and that was easy. That was an easy one.
Ooh. So what is the one trait that you think that keeps you searching for that next advanced position or that next progression?
I would say if hunger could be a trait, I would say for sure that. I think that when you don't come from the silver spoon mentality, you want to make sure that you're always moving, you're always searching for that next opportunity to make money and success and everything like that. And for me specifically, I could really care about money. I just want to make sure that I do something that I enjoy doing, but I also can make money off it and give back to my family and give back to my friends and like make everybody else's life a little bit better. So I think that just the constant hunger of not staying. If you look at successful people, they're not just successful at one thing, because that fizzles out. Eventually, if you're an amazing athlete and that's all you know, your athleticism goes away. If you're a great writer, you'll get mental block eventually. You just can't constantly be in the same wheel. You have to create other wheels that are turning at all times to generate different revenue at different time at different sections. So I would say just staying hungry and always looking for that next opportunity that should be fun, and it shouldn't be work all the time. Because if you're working, you're a worker ant, and I don't want to be that.
Yeah, that's good. That's kind of crazy that you bring that up too, because I finished up reading that book that I told you about, The Rich Dad Poor Dad, and they were just talking about the battle between being kind of like the master of none, kind of like the master of many things versus specializing in a trade.
Yeah.
And like you just mentioned too, once that trade is done, shoot, you're an astronaut, but you're not going to space anytime soon.
Yeah, you're not going anymore.
Yeah, you're old. You're old. You can't go back into space. What are you gonna do? Or like you said, bring it back to sports world. You're an athlete, and crazy. Like an example, Delonte West. Do you remember Delonte West?
Yes, I do.
Yes, teammate of LeBron James. I just seen a picture of him. He's
teammate of LeBron James
/
stepfather / side dick of LeBron James' mom.
Damn.
What did you see about Delonte West?
This fool, I think, was living in an apartment, smoking cigarettes on the porch with some of the raggedy sweats and jeans. And like, I don't think he has a job, but he was like not begging for money, but he's just looking for a job.
This
like,
is current.
Currently, I just seen like a picture of it. I was like, ooh, like again, he has no. Can't put the ball in the hoop anymore. What are you gonna do now?
That was rough.
Yeah, it didn't learn how to manage money. Like he should have learned another trade, finances
or something.
Yeah, so yeah, it gets to that point where like once that trade, your body goes, it deteriorates, and you only have the specialized trait. What do you do next? What's the next move? And if you don't have any investments or you're not skilled in another basic function in order for you to survive, then it's going to be tough out there.
I mean, look at the two greatest athletes in two different sports. You have Jerry Rice, you have Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is a billionaire still, because when basketball ended, He became a part owner of the Bobcats. His shoe company's exploding. These are not things they derive from him playing basketball, but he hasn't played basketball in 15 plus years, and he's still a billionaire.
I think he has made more money outside of basketball
than he ever has playing.
I've read that somewhere.
Jerry Rice was on a Paul Blanco insurance commercial and sounded like not that smart.
Buy this insurance so I can feed my kids.
Man, and it was a sad day where you're like, those are the two greatest in each sport. One guy went all these different ways, and one guy still trying to catch a football. And that shit does not work. So you have to really diversify and do as many things as you possibly can, as long as you enjoy doing them and it helps you make money.
Yeah.
So I would say that would be a huge trait.
The hunger to progress.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about now?
I mean, there's other questions on there as well. I mean, if you want to ask those.
Let me see here.
That would always help.
Ooh, you're right. I should have read this beforehand, huh?
For those of you who don't know why we're looking at our phones, every week before, we create a template of what to go over, and I send Rick these templates, and he doesn't read them until we actually start the show. So bear with the delay.
I'm more like improvising.
But he doesn't know how to improvise.
Still working on it. I'm practicing. See, I'm gonna master that trait soon. So, in your career, you get to meet a lot of people, and obviously some people do not progress, and are still in the position that you met them in. Why do you think these people do not elevate when they reach their breaking point, or have they even reached their breaking point?
Yeah, I think that the main reason a lot of people don't reach, well, I feel like everybody reaches a breaking point, but the reason why I feel like they don't elevate out of that breaking point is because they're waiting for somebody to elevate them out of that breaking point. And I think that's the biggest failure to a lot of careers, is they either think that their manager, or they think that the boss or the owner is one day just going to be like, you know what, you're doing amazing. Here's a job opportunity. Here's a $20 raise. It doesn't work that way. If they're going to get that type of work out of you and you never say anything, or you never show that you want this, how the fuck are they supposed to know that? Are they mind readers? Nah. Their idea is to pay you as little as they possibly can and get the max out of you. If they're getting the max out of you and you're not shaking any trees to get more, they're not going to give it to you. So I think the biggest issue with people at their breaking points is they don't ask the right questions or do the right things. They just expect. And then when they don't get, they quit instead of asking. And all business owners and all bosses and managers always say the same thing. Why'd they quit? Oh, they wanted a raise? Why didn't they just ask me for one? And it's like you're not asking the right questions, you're not pushing yourself to get out of a comfort zone to go get it. And I think anytime you get something, you have to get out of the comfort zone. And to me, I think the people are the worst enemies to get out, to elevate and get out of a breaking point.
Shoot. What would be your, knowing that you actually did elevate, what would you tell these people that are too scared to do it? Like, would you, like, what helpful advice would you tell them?
Politically correct and then non-politically correct?
Do you even have a politically correct side?
So was I not talking politically correct this whole time?
Shoot. Yeah, this fucking boss. I don't want to be like him when I grow up.
Is that what the fuck? I thought that was politically correct.
Fine. Your version of politically correct and your version of not politically correct. Politically correct first. What would be your advice to these people that you see? And I must be specifically not your colleagues, but more of your closer friends at work or your closer colleagues?
That I would say to somebody that I cared about.
Yeah.
What you need to do is gather a plan and then present it and apply that plan to get further ahead. I think if you go in those steps, it'll make it an easier transition, so you don't have to feel like you're falling over your footstep or you're falling over your feet or falling over your words. So try to get a plan together and then go forward.
Okay. That same friend. You clocked out of work. What would you tell this same friend?
Get the fuck over here. You need to not take any more fucking shit. You need to tell, hey, who? Your manager? Yeah, fuck that guy. He's a fucking weirdo anyways. You need to get a hold of him and just tell him, hey, listen, I want a raise. I want a job, a solid job title. And I want it the fuck now. And if you don't give it to me, what time you got for work? Because, wait, what time?
30 minutes.
30 minutes? Well, in fucking 31, I'm going to fuck you up.
God damn.
And then, hey, that usually works for me all the time. I usually get what I need to get. And I would just say try that out.
I agree. And just to piggyback off of that, it's just, if that, maybe say it in nicer terms, but if that manager that obviously says, it doesn't even give you a chance, they're going to give you an opportunity. They're going to think about it. They see the hunger in you already, and they like that. But if they do not give you a chance to actually elevate yourself, then you're in the wrong business
Get
already.
the fuck out of there.
Yeah, you already start looking already.
But with that being said,
I like the deliciousness of this next topic over here.
Here we go. Here's my
segment.
Here it has to be in the podcasting atmosphere, the greatest segment in podcasting. And I will square up with anybody that has to digress in that or has a different opinion.
Oh, shoot. So speak now, forever hold your peace.
If you know what I mean. But what segment is this, Rick?
Oh, man. Should I tell him, though?
Oh, I wish you would tell them.
Oh, I would tell him, man. This segment is called Fuck With It. Oh, fuck that.
Ooh,
What's this about, though? What's this about?
Fuck with it and fuck that works this way. We both have 2 topics. We'll go 1 for 1, back and forth. I'm going to ask Rick something. He will ask me something. We will give our opinions on that topic or category. And we're either going to say we fuck with it or fuck that. If you fuck with it, that's a positive. That's where you give your positive spin. If you say fuck that, that's a negative. And you give a funny negative opinion on that. With that being said, I will go first. I'm going to ask Rick my topic, category, question. Rick.
And before you ask that silly question of yours, just keep in mind that I've never heard these questions yet. These are all surprise.
Every time, every episode, he comes with a 2. He's never told me. I come up with a 2. I have never told him. So what you're getting is our most honest opinions on these categories. So with that being said, topic 1.
Shoot.
Rick. Fuck with it or fuck that conspiracies?
Conspiracies. Whoa, hey, that's a good one, man. Only because I don't really know too much of this subject. But conspiracy theories, I'ma say fuck that.
Yeah. Oh,
man.
fuck that. You're not a Bigfoot guy? You're not a Loch Ness guy?
Nah.
Not
really.
aliens guy?
Nah. And Chupacabra's real though.
that hits the heart for you, so you gotta believe in the truth.
The chup though.
So not conspiracy. So why you say fuck that?
I just say that because people just want to have something to talk about.
JFK.
Okay, I actually don't know too much about that.
John Kennedy being shot
In the head and the angle of the bullet, and it came out from the sky, but it freaking ricocheted, and what happened?
Man, for somebody that doesn't know shit about conspiracies, it seems like you know a lot about conspiracies.
See, did he have the same shooter that carved out George Washington's teeth or something. Like, sheesh.
And shot Abraham Lincoln.
And shot him. But I think it's just, oh man, it just gives something to talk about. The one that I heard a lot about was the 9/11 planes. I don't know too much of the knowledge. I just remember they had so many documentaries that why would that plane have full tank of gas if it's only going to the Pentagon or something, or why did this one only have half a tank and it was going across the actual country. And it just gives people something to talk about. I think people can connect the dots. But at the end of the day, man, I feel like, sure, maybe the government is controlling something or protecting us from something, or protecting us for a reason. But I still. Another one was the Sandy Hook shootings and stuff like that. Saying about how the little elementary school got shot up, which is freaking sad, and they had conspiracy theories about that. That a couple of days gun regulations was decreased or loosened up, or whatever it may be. At the end of the day, I think it's super sad that all these people had to die for a conspiracy, or like for some sort of theory about gas, or about a theory about guns, and how this shooting distracted everybody from this law that was passed. So yeah, that's why I don't fuck with conspiracy theories. Just gives too many people to talk about, and the media more power.
I like how you really just got political on that conspiracy theory question.
Yeah, I don't give a damn about it. Just the event happened. Just bring the people to justice. That's it. Butt plug in the nose. Suffocate them.
Yeah, damn.
Slightly used.
Well, if they have a nose like yours, they'll breathe right through that butt plug.
So you must have asked this question for a reason. Conspiracy theory, Jake. Fuck with it or fuck that.
Come here, get real close. I want to hear this. I fuck with it.
Oh, shoot.
Well, I don't want that to get out. It might be a conspiracy if that gets out like that.
Oh, shoot, man. So the Bigfoot, huh?
Yeah, I mean...
That was just me, because I got big feet. You know what that
I was
means.
about to just say, the Bigfoot conspiracy?
Yeah.
Nah, I've seen you bring a bitch like that home before, so it's not a conspiracy. I've seen that bitch sleeping on this couch before.
Hey, this couch is hella comfy.
If it's a Bigfoot and Rick.
Pretty much. No more, a little less though, yes.
I've seen the Loch Ness Bigfoot
and the choop.
and the choop. And the choop was you. Because next to the Bigfoot and Loch Ness that was sleeping on this couch, you was the choop. But yeah, I would say I fuck with conspiracy theories. Just for the fact that they're so ridiculous. And they're so... It plays with your brain. Because sometimes you'll watch them and you're like, hey, that's fucking real. But then... It's cool because it sparks a conversation within yourself. Is that real? Is that not real? I like that aspect of it. Do you need to believe them all? Please don't. Because if you believe them all, you'll never go outside. And if you go outside, you'll probably go outside with a tinfoil hat on. Because you think the aliens are going to read your brain. And the only thing that's reading your brain is this fucking phone right here. And I believe so.
And yeah, I think piggybacking off of that again, the aluminum helmet and all this Loch Ness stuff. You don't push it on other people. That's another thing. That's why I don't fuck with it. Right, but it's not my turn to talk.
Man, you just hit a conspiracy theory right there. Aluminum helmet, Illuminati.
Antonio Brown's helmet.
The Raiders are winning the Super Bowl.
Pretty much. Raiders.
So then, Rick, that was mine. Let me ask you number two. No, I got you. Rick.
Oh, why you ask me back to back?
Well, then that's one then. Your phone's all the way over there.
Oh, because I already got it.
Go ahead.
Jake. Fuck with it or fuck that?
Yes.
I always like to bring it to social media, so song lyrics as your caption.
Damn. Oh man, I'm a very positive guy today. I'm gonna say, fuck with it.
You fuck with the lyrics
Yeah.
as a caption in your postings.
Yes, I do.
Of your tweeting or whatever people do
On
nowadays.
my IG. And the only reason why I say fuck with it is because if I would have said fuck that, I would look like the biggest hypocrite. Because I do that shit all the time.
Oh, shit, I didn't even know that.
But yeah, I would say I fuck with it. You know why I fuck with it?
Why do you fuck with it?
Because there's some amazing lyrics in songs that I feel like a lot of people don't hear the person say, and they read it, and I think it gets a message across. Where if I'm having a day where I want to say, hey, I hope some piece of shit that I don't like on my Instagram sees this lyric that says, hey, yeah, you know what? And fuck you too. And I hope that when they read that, they know I meant them. And I hope they have a horrible day. And when they sit down, they sit on a fucking rusty nail.
Damn.
But, I mean, besides that, I think the lyrics are very positive and they bring a good message. But, oh man, if there's one thing I do like, it's that lyric. And they read that and like, good Lord. Yeah, if you just said that, that lyric was for you, you bitch. But,
oh, shit.
But I digress. Rick, fuck with it or fuck that. Lyrics being shown on Instagram stories.
Oh, you switched the game on that one, though.
That was your question.
I did that as a caption on the posting.
Well, then, as a caption and on your Instagram stories.
Alright, keep it brief. Lyrics on your story, I fuck with them.
Yeah.
Only because it gives you the option to actually, oh, here's the lyrics, and it's a setting on there.
Yeah.
But you typing out or copying, pasting.
That was one of your questions, was typing it out. I didn't get that part.
But putting it as a caption, the story goes away 24 hours, right?
Yes.
This posting is your social media diary, I guess it is, right?
Wait a minute. The question was, as a caption on the bottom, posting a lyric?
Yeah.
Well, let me go back to mine then.
Alright, well.
Fuck that.
I was like, what kind of lyrics you even posted? Like,
oh man, let me rewind. I thought you were saying on a story, you pick a song and the song raps and gives the caption, or gives the lyrics. You're saying
your 3 pictures.
Yes.
And one of your pictures like, I want a lyric. I want to be that bitch today.
Well, let me rewind.
Let me ask you again then.
That's fine. Go ahead. Ask me again.
So, on your Instagram specifically, fuck with it or fuck that. Song lyrics as a caption to your posting. Not your story, but your posting. Do you fuck with it or fuck that?
If that is what we're talking about,
that's what we're talking about.
Fuck that. What the fuck, are you, a ghostwriter? What the fuck? You're taking somebody else's masterpiece and then trying to express your life through that? Be creative and make your own shit up, you raggedy ass bitch.
God
yeah, damn.
Oh,
I gotta say super fuck that, because it just shows lack of creativity, and it just shows, oh, nobody gets me, but Beyonce gets me. Beyonce don't give a fuck about you.
And guess what? I'm part of the beehive.
And you know what too? Beyonce don't give a fuck about you, and your mama don't give a fuck about you.
Now we're getting to the good part.
So what you should do is either get some sense and create your own shit, or just shut the fuck up.
Well,
I got my opinion on that one. Rick, fuck with it or fuck that. Instagram caption or picture.
Right.
Caption at the bottom. Music, lyrics. Fuck with it or fuck that.
Well, I did ask this for a reason. And I'm going to have to say, fuck that, man. And I asked this specifically for a reason because, sometimes I get lost in the stupid Instagram for like 15 seconds, and and there's times where I just read it, and it's a very like, I, most of the time it's eye catching posts, and you see like, oh, at the gym with the crop top and the short shorts, on a woman, and then you just see the 5'5" with brown eyes and thick legs.
And she's about 5'3", dookie brown eyes, and she's not putting her weight out there. Weight's about 320.
But exactly, and it's like
Double thick thighs.
and you hit it on the head of the nail, man. It's like you're lacking creativity. Like, oh man, let me go to Wikipedia. Lyrics about fat ass thighs in a nice way. Oh,
not a nice way.
thank you, Gucci man. Hella cool. And it's like, and again, you're lacking creativity, and you're putting this because, why? Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't put anything else. It just kind of blows my mind. Like, do you think he was really talking about you? Like, he's not talking about you, man.
Yeah.
And or anything like, I get it. And you kind of hit on it a little bit, that these sometimes lyrics hit you in a personal way that you could relate. But putting it on a caption where everybody else could see how it personally hits you, it's like, I don't want to know about your 5'5", fucking dookie brown eyes and stank legs. Come on, man. Like, or any of these Drake, especially the Drake captions, man. Like, especially you're a dude, don't be posting captions like that, man.
Yeah, if you're a guy and then you're quoting a soft song,
just hold on, I'm coming home.
oh man, and you'll see a lot of that. And you know what it always is? It's some sorry ass that got his chick dipped on him, or some chick that's not really giving you the time of day that you want to give, and you think that if you post that, they'll see it and be like, oh, he's sensitive. Yeah, he's real sensitive, but you know what? The dude that she's fucking ain't that sensitive.
God damn.
And he's just sitting there looking, hey, hang in there, little buddy. He's the one that's double liking your shit.
Yeah.
While he's double tapping your shit. Yeah. He's the one double liking your shit. While he's double tapping your bitch.
Damn. So yeah, definitely don't fuck with him for sure. Like, lacks creativity. If it hits you in the right way, good job. Get it tattooed and hide it somewhere. I don't want to see it. Like, it's just plain. I don't even know how to explain it, man. Too plain, too redundant, too played out already. Like, and you just shouldn't do it, man. Don't just be a leader. Create your own lyric. What the hell? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and if you're a dude, get it tattooed around the butthole and leave it for the fellas.
For the fellas.
But I mean, what's funny? One of the ones I chose, which is my second one, kind of stays in that ballpark. Rick, fuck with it or fuck that Instagram.
Ooh, Instagram as a whole. I see the circle you did with your hands there. I'm gonna have to say, based on my personal experience, fuck that.
Damn.
I'm sorry, Zuckerberg. Who made it? I don't even know who made Instagram.
Yeah, it sounds like Zuckerberg.
It sounds like a Zuckerberg thing. I'm not gonna lie, guilty. I have one. I just don't know how to really use it. That's why I have no friends on that thing. And like I said, it only hits me just because I don't like it. Just because I feel like it's taking away a lot of kids. It's like their childhood, man. Like, it is crazy out there. Like, I remember riding my bike every day to this guy's house, and we'd even ride to Ramy and Travis' house, who lived deep. Like, I don't even know how long the bike ride was. Like, 30
lived
minutes.
in like Asgard and shit.
As the gates of Asgard, uphill to Asgard. My fucking bike seat was up in my Asgard, man. God damn, that was a long ass ride. Fucking mongoose need to make softer seats too. God damn. But it's just taken away from these childhood. Like, I don't see nobody playing at the park nowadays.
Yeah.
No kids riding their bikes, or very few. And then and that's like more the kids, the boy side. On the girl side, now you see all these little girls with their makeup and trying to be somebody who they aren't.
Yeah.
Growing up way too fast when they should be playing with their little Barbie doll or something like that, but instead they're making uh, memes and TikTok videos and um, trying to look for gratification elsewhere when they should have self gratification. Growing up too fast, and then these kids that my little cousins, man, like they don't know how to separate the social world and the real world. Like, man, my friends, like my cousins, have gazillion friends on the Instagram, but they do not know how to talk to adults like my aunts to my grandma sometimes. Like they're just on the phone all day and then come over to someone else's house to visit and they're bored right off the bat. So Instagram, in my point of view, hey, I like that people post and they make you feel good. You get the double taps. That's all cool and stuff. It doesn't pay your rent. Doesn't pay my rent. Shoot, doesn't put extra cash in my pockets.
And was it due? You hit the nail on the head with the kids. Was it due to the adults?
Shoot, to me, I think I'm an adult, but
Not with that haircut.
God damn, this is a sick ass haircut or lack of haircut. To me, number one, it wastes my time. Like, I don't have any kids, so I'm not looking and watching out for my kid. But I hear from my coworkers that they have to download the app too and take care of their kids and make sure they're not getting bullied or not making sure they raise their kids right. Like, I feel like it was easier back in the day. They could just take the belt off and whip you with it and then direct you somewhere else. Like with this Instagram stuff, they see other kids acting up and that's the new trend. I'm not gonna listen to my mom either. I'm gonna go to a Walmart and jump into a pit full of balls, or I'm gonna knock down all the freaking
all the stupid shit.
All the napkins. You know why? Because they're doing it. That's cool. Oh man, you know what I heard actually? That of course everyone heard about the lady that licked the ice cream and put it back, opened the top of an ice cream, licked it, had it filmed, put the top back on, and put it back on the shelf of a grocery store. It went viral. It went crazy. That's the new trend, the lick the ice cream trend or whatever. The lady, everyone that was doing it, or the lady that actually started it, ended up getting like a felony or going to jail because it was transposing spit. It's basically like spitting at somebody or something. What's it called?
Like your bodily fluids. Yeah. It's almost like a biohazard.
Yeah, it's a biohazard, and so she ended up either paying a fine or going to jail. It was ridiculous. Damn. So it was funny because I seen the video of her like licking the thing and like she was laughing like, oh yeah, getting likes, and then her mugshot like, oh fuck, I'm going to jail. This is real life. This is not social media.
A big old fucking bitch is about to really like me in jail.
Pretty much. And I was like, that's disgusting. The one that I found the worst, I actually thought it was pretty funny. But if this happened to me and my hair, oh, it's going down. Man, I'm suing everybody. Somebody decided to put some sort of Nair liquid in a shampoo bottle.
That just made me change my opinion on fuck with it. Fuck that.
Imagine going to the... Oh, yes. Herbal lessons. Quattro! And it ended up being like a female that was washing her hair and she just lost all her hair, man.
Well, I hope that guy got a Nobel Peace Prize award
for
and not
pranks,
a felony.
But that was fucked up.
Man, that was good. She'll get it back, whatever the fuck.
So I want to say social media, Instagram, just because it's very, I don't understand it. It's very different from my childhood and it just wastes my time. Fuck that.
Strong.
How about yourself, sir? With your strong opinions and your strong last Nobel Prize, boy. Instagram. As a whole. Fuck with it or fuck that?
It's a tough one because when I hear Nair stories like that, I get pulled back into the hole of the pit of just ridiculousness. but I gotta stay strong. Fuck that.
Ooh, why do you say fuck that?
I say fuck that because Instagram does more damage than it does help. I think that Instagram, business wise, is becoming a juggernaut where it takes over Yelp and it takes over any other search engine where people go to Instagram first and they search business names and fitness and like you can get a lot done through social media. And I'm experiencing that right now with my venture. Shout out to Jake Shakes.
Ooh,
But
what do you gotta do there, baby?
no, yeah, I'll get into that later.
no,
But
okay.
I would say if you have a business mindset and you're a strong entrepreneur or hustler, Instagram's a great thing. Everything else is a, like you just said, waste of fucking time. It's ruining the neck posture of everybody. People are gonna just people are gonna die from paralysis from the shoulders up. It's just gonna be like, people are gonna be like, hey, what's going on? Because your neck can't be like this the whole time. So that's one. The thing I give to Instagram, if you search, it will show you how many hours a day you're on it, on an average.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And if you're over an hour, what the fuck are you doing? Like
Jeez.
that means that was anything over an hour, that's money to be made, and you're not making it looking on Instagram. You need to put your time into something better. Another reason why I don't like Instagram is everybody's a supermodel now. Children, boys, men, women, grandmas, grandpas. It seems like now if you have an opinion or you have a picture and you're all supermodels now, especially on the female side of things. I feel horrible for young men this generation when it comes to meeting and talking or lack thereof because nobody knows how to talk anymore.
Why do you feel bad for that population though, man? Shouldn't it be help, social?
No, because your Instagram has created a bunch of monsters. And when I say monsters, women, please look in the mirror and put your phone down and be honest with yourself.
Dang.
You're not all tens.
But she got triple digit likes though.
And shout out to the filters out there.
Damn, shout out.
Shout out to the filter and the angle.
Damn.
And now,
That's a skill actually.
turn back, drop the chins, and look directly into that mirror and be one with yourself. That's the biggest issue is men are also a product of their own demise. All these men out there direct messaging and liking and blowing up these women on social media have created these monsters where every woman thinks they're the finest woman on the planet and they get on their tippy toes and they arch the shell to their back until they blow a disc and they turn their head almost exorcist like to the point where you're creating this false narrative and you're only doing it for the validation of likes. This is a stat that I'm going to give or an observation that I've given that kills me. If you're a woman that does not post about a boyfriend and your ass is hanging out and you're saying some stupid ass shit in a caption, you will get more likes than your favorite athlete. If you're a woman that has children and you look just as good as that other chick and you still poke your ass out and everything like that, you have half the followers and 3/4 the likes. So my thing is just the reality is just not there anymore, and I think people are just everybody's a movie star and everybody's this and everybody's that. Just be your fucking self and learn to develop skills again, how to talk to people, how to be a real human being, and get the fuck off of social media.
Sheesh. Well said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna add one more thing.
Yeah, feel free.
Because going back to that, doing it for shows, doing it for the gratification. There's a story that just recently came out. I shared it with Jake about I didn't even know it was even a sport. Like I've heard of yoga, but I've never heard of extreme yoga. Oh, nice little chuckle there. And apparently in the news recently, um, during one of these extreme poses in this Instagram renowned extreme
Yoga.
yoga thing, um, a 23-year-old ended up falling 80 feet from the balcony of an apartment or a house, breaking pretty much every damn bone in her body.
Oh, is that right?
And ended up surviving though.
Is there predictions on her walking again?
Yeah, scientifically, per I don't even know. I think it was the Huffington Post, which is I think a reliable source. I'm not sure how reliable these doctors are though, because they estimated like actually they double tapped her picture before she fell, and it's estimated that she's not going to be able to walk in 3 years.
But there is a chance 3 years from now she'll walk
But
again, right?
So you're saying?
So you're saying there's a chance. That's all I need to hear.
Man, because I don't know. I think, 2 years may not be enough. I think after that last day of the third year, she'll be good again.
Yeah, she'll be Olympic ready.
So yeah, it just puts you like, you're doing too much and you're literally killing yourself for these likes.
Yeah.
You're gonna do yoga, do it. Extreme yoga, do it for just do it for the art. But that's what I'm gonna say about that.
Nice. Well,
my last one though.
Shoot it.
Oh, what am I leaving here? Fuck with it or fuck that. Men getting pedicures. I know we talk about all this manly stuff. Yeah.
Oh man, you're pretty good. This one I'm gonna love to say.
Yeah, because you're thinking about my feet probably, right?
You know what's funny?
Your foot fetish.
I just watched your foot go from here to here. I just saw you try to tuck them under my couch right now. I'm gonna say men that get pedicures. Fuck that.
Oh! Why fuck that?
Just because I really don't like you. And I know that you get pedicures all the time with your foot ass. I would say, fuck that. You know why? Because last time I checked, I had a dick and balls.
Wow.
And if you're primping and prumping anything, you do that. But your toes, cut them, hide them, and take a step forward to success.
Damn, I see the motivation.
But I know that out of the two people sitting on this couch, one of us does get pedicures, and in that
amazing.
yeah, and if we're talking about that, if we're talking about just regular feet, I'd probably say fuck that. But when we're talking about Loch Ness, Bigfoot, not just on the couch, but on the footwear. If you ever seen a movie called Lost Boys?
No.
There's a part, well, let me just give you a little recap. They're all teenage vampires. There's a part in it where they catch them sleeping, but they're like bats. They're hanging upside down. Their toenails look like swords and fingers. That scared the shit out of me as a kid. I think the first time I saw your feet, we were 17 years old. We met when we were 8 years old, and it took us 9 years to see him.
I didn't know if he was the one or not, so.
I thought that you were a vampire that just put sunscreen on to protect you from the sun. Because when I saw those toes, it scared the shit out of me. So I would say for you, I fuck with it just because I would hate for you to kill whoever you're having sex with by trying a position and accidentally stabbing through their whole body with those toes. So, yeah, fuck that. For everybody else, fuck with it for you and whatever chick that you're fucking with. Oh. So, Rick, fuck with it or fuck that? Pedicures.
For men? Or for women?
How about everybody?
pedicures for men, I fuck with it, man. And by the way, tell your Lost Boys, I know somebody in Fremont, good pedicurist over there. And I know we talk about some manly stuff over here. Hey, but hygiene is another thing. You gotta take care of yourself, man. Me, the way I was running and the way I've been stepped on a couple times. Sure.
I just showed a picture of the movie Lost Boys and their toes.
Yeah, and I kind of looked. I was like, "When did you cut my feet when I was sleeping?"
Holding on to that bar right there.
Honestly, like, all you need is a little trim on the top. Don't get no color or anything like that. I'm just saying, just hygiene. Me, I've been stepped on playing sports, football, basketball. So my toenails is not growing naturally from like before. So I was over here.
Yeah.
I have to get them just because the nails grow into my skin, and a normal trim, a normal cut is not sufficient enough. I gotta be comfortable. So pedicure definitely does help.
Are you on trial right now? Why are you giving, like you're trying to convince motherfuckers?
I am. I said hygiene, man. Hey, your feet feel good, you're going to be good in life. Pretty much. Scientific proof. So, pedicures for men, if you need it, I fuck with it. So, yeah, that was a nice little fuck with it, fuck with that.
I like it.
Improvise, baby.
Improvise, baby. Well, with that being said, we're curtailing to the end of episode 5.
Sheesh.
With the end, we like to end on a quote that hopefully motivates you, sparks something, wakes you up, so you could take that and do something with yourself. Like Rick said, when we create these quotes, we go back and forth week to week. The other person doesn't see the quote until right now. So Rick is going to read a quote that I have. I'm going to give my spin on it. Gives him time to think so he can give his spin on it. Rick, read the bottom one out loud.
All right, this one?
Yeah.
All right, Jake's quote of the week. Find me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. Don't get used to second place. And I'm going to repeat it one more time. Find me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. Don't get used to second place.
Dang.
Ooh, that is strong.
So I'm going to get my spin on that while Rick thinks about his. When it comes to that quote, I'm not saying that losing doesn't happen in life. Losing happens probably a lot more than winning does. But don't be a good loser. Don't get used to losing all the time. You should strive to want to win. Even if you lose, strive to want to win. Don't be, oh, better luck next time, or that's cool. Because then what happens is you'll find that breaking point and you don't go up. You just quit and you go down. So for me, good losers stay in the same spot because they convince themselves that's a good spot to be in. When I feel like people have reached that breaking point and want to strive to go forward are the winners of the world. And as politically correct as this country and this world is becoming, just know that there's one of two things that happen day to day. You win or you lose. And for me, I'd rather much win over losing. So I don't think you should ever be comfortable in a gracious loser, because then you'll always just be comfortable being in second place. And if you're comfortable being in second place, you will not reach the potential that you need to reach. And I think that is just a shame if that's the case. So Rick, find me a good loser and I'll show you a loser. Don't get used to second place.
God damn, that's a strong one. I just relate that back to what we're talking about, the Instagram thing, how it creates a mask for you. And it's like, yeah, you're good at taking the pictures, but what else are you good for? Just you're still based on that. You're based on the fake. So when I relate the good loser, it's kind of like, yeah, you're good at losing. Is that what you want to be known for? Like, you don't want to be a good. I actually prefer a sore loser.
Yeah.
A sore loser. You want to better yourself.
At least you see the hunger.
Yeah, the determination. Hey, you didn't lose this one. I want to get them next time. Like, forget this team. I'm gonna get them. And you're hungry.
Yeah.
A good loser, you're like, that's all right. They always beat us. Anyways, they always beat us, so we're just used to it. Nah, hell nah, man. Like, and again, I related to that, and I related to us in sports, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I remember hearing about our high school in sports being the worst. Like, not great. Not somewhere that you want to play sports, like, because you always get your ass whooped.
Yeah.
And I was like, me, I just like sports. This guy, a beast. So I just remember, and I only started playing football in high school because of these guys. And I just seen how they were hitting people, and how, like, even our own teammates were like, oh man, like, this team is like, they're gonna get us. Jake would just hit our own players too and be like, hey, get the fuck off my team if you're gonna be thinking like that. Like, hey. And I was like, good thing I didn't say that. He might have bucked me. But it just, you can't be complacent. You cannot be happy. You can't, I don't know why you would be happy in second place. Like, and like Jake was saying, like, you got to apply yourself. Apply something new. Apply a new technique that will get you out of being viewed as a good loser. Get out of being that extra help position. Get out. If you're not happy, just get out. Don't be a good extra help. Don't be a good Instagram taker, but you're not good in real life.
Yeah.
Just don't be good second place in life.
I like it.
In the bed.
Hey.
But I always say good number 2 is when I take a deuce, baby. God damn, I gotta take one right now. It's a long episode, man.
Don't be a good loser in the bed, and don't be a good loser in your own head.
Ooh.
Shout out to 2 really good losers, Ramy and Travis.
Yeah, you guys are good second place,
In
baby.
Portola Elementary School. With that being said, we out.
We out, man. Well, shoot. All right then, Jay.
All right then, Rick.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh, I got